Hello YouTube. This is a video to address rattling in a 2006 Toyota Prius. I've done a lot of work already. I've removed wiper arms, the mechanical parts to operate those arms, and the plastic cover and the sheet metal that goes across. Two 14mm bolts and everything else are 10mm bolts, and it comes right out. There's a little bit of cleaning. There's a lot of grime that will gather around these edges. Make sure you clean it before you reinstall, because that grime is preventing proper water drainage when it rains. Alright, so once you have that off, it creates this nice opening. The heat shield is small enough to pull right out of there. You don't have to bend or stretch anything, do anything weird to it. It just slips right out. Reach down in there, and this is what you pull out, the heat shield. It's held in place by four 10mm bolts. They come off quite easy for being a heat shield on the exhaust manifold. Most people on other cars, you're going to struggle to get them off. Why? The bolts will basically be welded onto the manifold. These engines run quite hot. I think they run over 200 degrees. Thermostats, I think, are rated at 210 or 215. Some crazy high temperature. Most cars out there are about 180 degrees. So these things are meant to run hot, but they're not on all the time. So that's the great thing about it. Okay, so what's the issue? Toyota, to reduce the heat, uses these sleeves. And it's a sleeve that kind of goes through and out the other end. And to prevent movement, it uses these this like a wire mesh that works its way around. It's on this end, and then also on the other side. It's the same for all four bolt holes. What happens? The wire mesh could be due to heat expansion or just vibration. It gets compacted vertically, and then this thing starts to slide around. When I put my car on ramps, I reached underneath, I grabbed a hold of the heat shield, and you could move it around. You can move it around fairly easy. Shouldn't have done that. So I took everything off, pulled it out. Sure enough, they were all loose. Well, three of the four were loose. And then my solution was to compact the wire mesh. Use some tools, or you can even use your fingers and nails. Just compact that wire mesh until all that space, that gap, is taken up again. And you do that to all of them. Work it around. Now, I could move it around pretty easy before. Now, pretty snug. Nice and snug. And then I just need to reinstall it. That should solve my rattle. Now, you might have similar issues with other heat shielding on the exhaust pipe, but for the exhaust manifold, this seems to be the source and the easy fix to get rid of that rattle. Good luck.